Transit. 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 The unmistakable face of the annoying arsehole following way too close behind. The transit van. The unmistakable rear end of the van that you can't see past, but keeps stabbing its brake lights. Actually a bit taller than that, look. The thing about the Transit though, is it's not made to be friendly. It's not there to be your friend. It's there to do a job. And it does a job very, very well. And not only that, there's something quite endearing about the van, especially the Transit. Observe the rust, observe the dirt, observe the missing petrol filler flap, observe the grotty bit at the top. Is this a sales pitch? No, but everything's for sale, but this isn't.
But it still belongs to me.
Stay out of this one, mate.
Thank you.
The van becomes a bit ageless because the design is set. In fact, the van isn't a design at all, is it really? It's just a metal box on wheels. So the back end could be 5 years or 20 or 30 years old. And if there's any difference between the van over those times, then can't redesign something that's already correct. So let's ignore the back, although that is the most important bit. Look at its face. This is the Mk6 Transit, which doesn't look quite as nice as the Mk5. The Mk5 looks like it had been designed somewhat, whereas the Mk6 looked like, let's just make the whole thing bigger on the front end and see if anybody notices or likes it. Or it's just you assume you've got to change it. Just change it. Remarkably enough though, this one doesn't have rusty wings, but then it's only 15 years old, so it shouldn't. To open up the body on the Mk6 Transit, and indeed the Mk5 as well, you need to use the key. And if you lose the key for some reason, you can't get the bonnet open. And then again, if you lose the key, you can't drive it either. So who really cares about that? You can actually open the bonnet with a bit of skill and a screwdriver. And probably that's how you can start it as well. By opening the bonnet, of course, we get the most exciting engine ever. No, not this one. Looks like it's having nightmares.
Yeah, it's an ongoing work in progress vehicle.
It's snoring. Regardless of the obviously slightly uneven running there on the tickover, apparently it gets better when it gets warm. And when it gets warm, it's allowed to go wherever it likes in the country because it is ULEZ compliant. Oh yeah. Didn't see that coming, did you? Or maybe you did. Maybe you know these vehicles better than I do. I'm going to do the rather exciting task now of climbing into the back of the Transit. With every other car I get into and drive, you cannot climb in the boot. Well, not stood up anyway. I know you probably could actually. Yeah, you could. But you won't be able to close the boot. Whereas you could close these doors right now. I did want to show you the incredibly commodious boot of the Transit van, but it's full of stuff. So I can't walk around in there. Well, a van that's empty is a sad van. How long have you been a van driver?
Well, I've done it as a job at one point in my life, but in this case, about 6 months.
Yeah. At what point do you become a van driver, though? You know, rather than just somebody who drives a van.
I don't know. You just get to a point where you need to move shit, don't you? And then you move up to driving a van.
Yeah, but it's the whole attitude that goes with driving a van.
Oh, that? Yeah. You do your best not to, don't you? But I suppose it just happens. Yeah.
It just makes you unpopular, doesn't it?
I suppose it does,
You can't afford to be unpopular. Should we do a door shut sound on this? No, let's not bother. Oh, I forgot about that. The Transit has a wing mirror rather than a door mirror. See? And that stays in the same place, along with a horrible creaking sound which makes me not want to open it up again. As we can see from the inside, it's all rather grey plastic, brittle bits, somewhere to store paperwork. That ledge there where you can trap all sorts of stuff for months and months, and hard-wearing seats that wear out. Somewhere to put a bottle. It has storage. It has cup holders that aren't really any use for cups. Having had one before, I know how commanding the driving position is. It has a gear stick right where your hand would be if your hand was there. I'm quite excited to drive this because it's been a while since I've driven a Transit, which was my own Transit, a few years back. This is a front-wheel drive Transit rather than rear-wheel drive, which makes it better for everyday use for some people. Maybe not me, I'm not really arsed. I'll drive either. But getting back to a point on van drivers, I'm already committed, I'm going past. Why are van drivers so awkward? Well, it's partly down to the fact that Ford managed to make a van that's easy to drive. It's a bit like driving a tall car, although a bit wider, of course. It's just something you get in and you drive it, so you don't need to learn any particular skills or have any real driving finesse to just jump in it and go. And that means you're going to have some people that aren't particularly careful or considerate drivers driving the van, and that will result in driving too closely, driving too quickly, and driving in such a way where you park wherever you like, causing an obstruction. Because out the front, visibility is brilliant, and that's half the thing. Your visibility is so good you can see the corners of the van, and you can see over the top of the car that you're tailgating, the car that you can't read the registration plate on because you're that close, but you can't see out the back too well. The other thing as well, they didn't make Transits particularly slow. They're capable of keeping up with the traffic. Driving a van actually makes you feel quite content because you're so comfortable, and just having the added possibility and potential to carry all of your shit everywhere you go makes you feel happy, makes you feel like you're untouchable, makes you feel like you prefer it to a car. Many people end up with a van when they don't need one, just because it's still a car, isn't it? It's a car that can carry all sorts of things, and they're not exactly horrendous on fuel, they're not great either, but they're livable. Besides all the rattly noise and the slightly noisy engine, it's not exactly difficult to put up with.
I found some money.
Oh yeah, put it towards the repairs on this thing. It's nimble as well. Again, the steering is really rather precise. It's a joy to turn. The gearbox is good. Why do they make them so nice? Why do they make the Transit so good to drive? Driving this van makes me want another van.
Does it?
I know it does that with practically everything I drive, but vans are just special, aren't they?
Yes.
They're like having a dog, except one that you have to pay tax on.
Well, you got to feed your dog.
You've got to put fuel in the van, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you've got to repair it because the Transit van, as with other vans.
Right, turn.
One of the other things about driving a van is that because you can't see quite too well behind you, it becomes someone else's problem what you're doing. So if you just decide to fling a left somewhere, it's up to the people behind you to know that that's what you're going to do, rather than it being your responsibility. 115 brake horsepower, which is enough. It's very easy to drive something like this all day and remain perfectly comfortable because of how easy it is to drive, and the seat being comfortable enough. It's just on motorway journeys they do tend to be very tiring because of the amount of noise the engine makes, although this one isn't as bad as what mine was. It had the old 2.4 litre engine, which, although renowned for its reliability, renowned for its noise as well. This one has an arrow, a green arrow on the dashboard telling you when to change gear, and I've got to say that just annoys me. I don't want to be told when to change gear. I know when to change gear, And having an arrow on the dashboard telling me to change gear is going to make me not change gear when it's telling me to do, just so I can be obstructive and therefore use up more fuel by being disobedient. The transit van. The only car with a boot bigger than a Volvo. Oh, the choice of seatbelt plugs to go for. Right, ready?
There's a knack to it.
There's a knack to starting it. I've got to get somebody to help start the van.
There you go.
There we go, right. Is that because
It's a little bit worn, so you have to just pull it as you're turning it. You have to just give a little bit of pressure on pulling as you're turning, and it turns. So
this particular van has 190,000 miles, which isn't really a lot for a van. If it's genuine, it might not be. Oh.
You got to start moving.
Right, okay, so the power steering pump isn't the best, is it? Whoa. Oh, it's very, very jerky, isn't it? God, it's right.
It's a bit fucked, really.
Right, did you hear that? Yes. Did the brakes work? That's something you need to find out before you set off down the hill, isn't it?
Ooh.
And of course, we're coming out of a junction here and we cannot see a thing.
And people fly around the corner.
Yeah, and we're holding up these sorry people there as well. Here we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're making a complete balls up of this today.
Are you trying to think of something to go on the end of this or what?
Yeah.
Just makes me think of a small mouse's face. You know, the kind of mouse that hasn't even finished growing. A mouse is small, but one that hasn't even got its face properly tuned into the rest of its body yet. And its face is far too big for the rest of its body. That's the kind of face it has. Style isn't supposed to be part of the van, but somehow it is with this. And that's why this door here and this big piece of glass and this extra plastic bit there to make it look even more glass. What?
You like to shut the door properly.
That is shut properly.
Oh.
No, it's not. Oh yeah, of course. They never shut that well, do they? You've always got to slam things and bash things and
Don't talk to me, you were keeping me out of this one.
treat things with abuse. A bit like what you do with me. It's unusual to see us so far apart, isn't it?
Yes.
So the handbrake works, which I wasn't really expecting on that slope there. But at least to answer the question, are you a yank the handbrake or press the button kind of man?
Oh, I'm a proper handbrake man.
What, you're yanking?
No, I don't yank it, but
You
I want a handbrake. I don't want to
do
put
the ratchet, or do you like press the button and pull it up so it stops?
Oh, press the button.
Right. Yeah, I've always been a button presser as well. Apparently, you shouldn't do it that way. You should use the ratchet.
All right.
Yeah, because then you can count the clicks or something.
But that don't wear it out then.
Well, it would if you carried on doing it like all the time, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't like counting clicks. I like to just put the handbrake on and end such futile conversations as this one. Okay? So don't bring that up again.
Won't.
Well, I've got to say I enjoyed that.
Did you?
Yeah, of course I did.
Good.
Doesn't really get a lot of use, does it?
No.
That's good because it's not going to wear out quite as quickly.
Sorry?
It's not going to wear out as quickly, is it?
Well, no, but it would be nice if I could get it running better.
It doesn't matter if you're not using it, does it?
No, but
Why doesn't it have a middle subline?
yeah,
You could do that, couldn't
because
you?
it's just going to come in through that big gap.
Yeah.
When I used to sleep in one before, in my breaks on afternoon, the sun used to come through that gap for definite.
Oh yeah, wake you up.
Yeah. It's quite weird how you have to correct yourself, isn't it, in terms of doing the steering.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's a conversation point, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can tell that Amazon drivers aren't van drivers. They're just men that have been given a van to drive as part of their job. Because when you become a van driver, you do these kind of corrections automatically.